major production, and then we'll, whatever it is we do. Boy,
Yeah.
actual train. I go to a TV show and training breaks out. Boy, very clean in here. Little rain. Boy,
Yep.
wash the dirt away.
You're gonna have to talk real loud and clap really loud so people can hear you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
We may go through another whole tape like we did like a couple weeks ago. Boy, okay. A lot going on, boy, in my life. I just want you to know that. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, hold this. A lot of comments on this week.
Okay.
The Circle of Life. I presented one to Big Ricky, and he accepted it. Then I presented one to Little Ricky. By the way, he told me to tell you, hey. So we actually, he's doing real good. Anyway, I'll comment a little bit on that. But we got to get officially started first.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dad Here to Work You Wrestling. Hear the claps. You know what time it is, George. How's the weekend?
Well, oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not Halloween sound effects. Like, remember that album you get as a kid?
Yeah.
Had the sound effects of the rain. It is raining here at Dad You Don't Work You Studios, but we're nice and dry here. We hope that you are where you're at. A lot going on here at our studios. I'm talking a little bit louder than normal, maybe the same.
Maybe same.
But we do have thunder showers come through the area. But folks, listen to me. Great weekend that I had, Bullet. Successful once again. Friday, fried fish, Friday, and fighting in Dallas, North Carolina. The huge church down there. We went back 3rd year in a row. Bullet, I'm very, very happy to announce that with just us and whatever guys I can find off the street to put on a few matches, we raised almost $1,000 for that church. They sold out of all the fish, Bullet, hot dogs, just an amazing day, Bullet. Very small moment for me. It didn't happen. Our eyes crossed in the stars is, believe it or not, Bullet, former lady friend of mine from back in the day. Hadn't saw her in a while, Bullet, but I kind of liked her a little bit. She actually, Bullet, here's just my luck. I'm doing this huge major production show here in the Fish Fry parking lot, and she drove by. Can you believe it? And she even let me know that she drove by, okay? Maybe it's good that she didn't stop, okay? Because I like ketchup, tartar sauce. But, Bullet, I missed her again. Story of my life. Bullet, man. But anyway, I want to thank Pastor George. And then, that was Friday. Of course, Sunday morning, I got to go back to the church, and I spoke that morning, and it was their homecoming, which is just some of the unbelievablest food, Bullet, that I was very embarrassed when I went through the line like 4 times. But anyway, I'm just on homemade corn. I mean, just homecoming stuff, okay? Remember I told you, and that made me think of my famous story from the early 60s, Brute Bernard, who was a famous mean guy here in the Carolinas. Bullet, he would actually read the newspapers. Of course, I got to hang around him as he was older, 70 or 80, but still working. At 80 years old, Bullet, true story, he took the prettiest body slam. He would still could work. But anyway, he used to read the newspapers, whatever town he was.
You went on a lot of tangents.
Oh, no,
here.
no. I'm sorry.
We haven't finished any stories yet. You've started 8 of them. Hopefully we'll get to the end of some of these.
But Brute Bernard will sum all this up. Anyway, he used to read the newspapers in whatever town he was wrestling in and see which church was having homecoming, and he'd go visit it and get a free meal. That's kind of where instilled in me the ability to try to get free food. But anyway, a lot going on. Then, of course, Saturday, Bullet, I'll slow down here for a minute. Saturday, we went back to Jason Freeman's. He ran, not Drexel, but Lenore, North Carolina, after he refused to go to the National Guard Army because they raised his rent. But he found a brand new building, American Legion building, downtown Lenore. Bunkhouse Buck was there, Bullet. Pretty cool when there's no mic. The mic went out. Very stand-up comedian-ish, but we're still using it. And Bunkhouse Buck has to do an interview, like to challenge me, Bullet. So they give him the mic, but they're trying to tell him that it don't work. But he's so George Southish, it doesn't. Who freaking cares?
He's yelling.
Yes,
he's yelling over the rainstorm.
You didn't have to tell him that it didn't work. But Bullet, kind of an honor for me, which there's not many honors left, but kind of an honor to me. He come up to me. He's been in the business, made a lot of money, and I love him to death. And he just said, you know, I'm going to listen. He said, I'm all ears tonight. And that little word, to me, he trusted me. You see what I'm saying? Which is very, whether you're in a relationship, a marriage, or wrestling, is not used regular
It
much.
took him 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you wrestled him in WCW when he was Bunkhouse Bob,
Oh, yeah.
he was like, listen, kid, I got to get over it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And I think not having Dick Slater in his corner made him a little easier, I think. Because if Dick Slater had been there, I wouldn't have said a word. But anyway, great, successful weekend, Bullet. I was just so proud to be able to see Jason continue to draw a good crowd, even though he had to go into a different building. Several Dad You Don't Work You Wrestle television fans coming, said they just couldn't wait. What's funny, we're over, Bullet, me and you.
Several, you mean all? You mean all.
Like two.
When you said several, you mean all.
Well, one asked about it, but he was with somebody, so I include both of them.
Okay,
The other one didn't say nothing
about you should.
Yes.
And we're going to need one more to call it several.
Well, just two.
Okay, then just two.
But what was exciting, they said, what is the topic going to be on this coming week? But we may have to start putting little teasers out there. Okay, I didn't know it was going to grow so high and so popular that we may have to get some teasers. Okay, I said, you just got to wait and watch. Okay, bro thought I was going to leak out something, but I didn't. So anyway, a lot going on, Bullet. Listen, I got a very good surprise coming up later on, Bullet. I may be doing an event. I don't know. I may get to hang out with J.J. Walker, Dynamite, Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker.
Just we gotta work out a few legalities. If he can actually do a set and clean it up a little bit. I mean, he's not like what you call rated R.
He can do a corporate.
Yeah,
that you're asking. He can do a corporate.
But just the very brief communication. He's very wrestlerish. Whatever you need, he put a hood on. Whatever you need, bro. Just wants to just pay you. Okay, bro. Don't care. You don't have to be the main event. You don't have to be first match. Just give him a hood. But wear a mask. You don't care. But I hope that takes place.
Okay.
Bullet, all I'm saying here, and I'm going to shut up, is if I can get him on board, and I got you, Police Academy remake. That's all I'm saying. All I need is him and you and maybe one or two others.
Okay.
Okay? I get some students to fill in. But that's all I'm saying. I'm playing the part of Dingleberry. Whatever the guy's name.
Tackleberry?
Tackleberry. That had all the guns. I loved him.
Until facto, I guess I'm Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah, you're Steve Gutenberg. You may have to play the part of like 3 or 4 guys.
Or have to play the part of the guy that replaced Steve Gutenberg as a script channel.
That's good, Bullet. That's good. Yeah, you may have to play the part of 3 or 4 people. But it's all falling into place.
And Jimmy Walker will, of course, have to take...
He's got to learn to do some...
Michael... I think it's Michael... Oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name. Michael,
funny, good guy.
Motormouth Jones, but he was played by a comedian, and I'm Michael Winslow, I believe.
Yes, and I've already got, because he's passed away.
Or Eddie Winslow, I don't know.
Yeah, same thing. And I've already got our big T-Rex here that's going to play the part of Bubba Smith. Okay. So it's all falling into place.
It's weird about Police Academy. I know some of the actors' names, but I don't know their character names. But sometimes I know their character names, but not the actors' names. So it's just that's how Police Academy works.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't know the real name and the person's actual real name.
Boy, and as far as I know, we don't know who owns the rights to this. So I may get away with using the actual Police Academy. Okay. So, but it would be pretty cool to get sued by cease and desist from Police Academy people. But anyway, a lot of stuff going on, boy. I know you've had kind of a couple days to kick back a little bit this past week.
I don't know about kick back.
Oh, no, you had the
I was at the Comedy
Zone. Host 3?
3 days.
Wow.
I did 5 shows. So, and actually the guy who's the headliner, Julian McCullough, his mom is the niece of Vern Gagne.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And and Julian's father showed up, and he was there, and he was telling me stories about the barn that was out back of Vern's farm, and how none of the family members are allowed to even go in there at any moment in time, even when they weren't training. They were not allowed to go in the barn.
Oh, I kind of love that.
Trained all those wrestlers.
I kind of love that.
He had been on the grounds in the legendary farm where all those wrestlers trained there.
Well, now, did you know this going in to meeting him or no? Wow.
Yeah, I mentioned that I'm a wrestler in passing. He told me, and he introduced me to his father the next day. His father, super cool dude. One of those guys that really enjoyed the 60s.
Yeah.
Super cool dude. told me all the really cool places to be, like in the 60s and 70s, and all the cool places to be now. He's still having a good time.
So, I love that. Boy.
I've got some places I got to cross off my checklist. Apparently.
I love that because for you older fans and newer fans, if you can, I think you can still find the movie, The Wrestler, not the one, the latest one, but the one about Vern Gagne's camp, and they have a lot of scenes from that barn. And a lot of the guys' trainings from that in the earlier wrestlers.
So a movie crew is allowed to go in, but not the family.
So for you this week, you got going on this week?
I got PWX this Sunday.
Oh yes, very much.
And then actually Friday will be my first day off in, I believe, 19 days.
Wow.
Once I get to Friday, if I keep doing all of the open mics this week and then my show this Thursday at Cabarrus Brewing Company, after that point, I would have done 20 shows in 19 days. Yeah. Well, I mean, going up in front of an audience.
You got to start wrestling to get a day off. You got to start wrestling. That's everything.
That's everything. That's me getting in front of a crowd 20 times, 20 different crowds in like 19 days. So Friday's my first day off where I get to be a normal human being.
Listen, young comedians, that's resume stuff right there. You understand, Bullet? That just builds up.
That's maddening stuff. Right? I don't know. I don't know if I'm the same person anymore. So.
So a lot of stuff going on, Bullet. Quick idiot of the week, if you don't mind.
I do not.
Bullet. Now this guy will not be. This has nothing to do with this, and I'm going to talk fast so we can get out of here. But Bullet, listen. I actually had somebody come this week and ask me, the water's doing good. I always give my official bottled water, just picked up this past week, picked up 3 brand new cases, Bullet. It is very hot. I shared with you a little bit earlier before we went on the air that Big Ricky Steamboat put it over. I got his blessing, and also I spent the day yesterday with Little Ricky Steamboat and shared one with him. So it's kind of full circle. I just got to get 2 of these in Little Ricky's 2 little boys' hands, and then it'll be full circle. But all that being said, a man actually come up to my table and said, "Now, is that this weekend, Saturday?" and said, "Is that real water?" But I don't even get away from me, okay, folks. I may drink water out of a metal bucket in the backyard when it rains, but I'm not going to give it to my fans.
Just like what you said about homemade corn. You know what I'm saying? Corn is corn if it's off the cob. It's not processed. Well, it might be. I don't know what Monsanto's doing these days. So.
But boy, and this guy ain't going to eat it back. But you just look at somebody like that. I mean, this is sealed. This ain't and there's
it is. It's pro wrestling water, so it's fake.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
How about that?
Oh, I love that.
It's pro wrestling water because it's fake.
Oh, that's my new tag. Oh boy. Oh, so sir, wherever you're at, please come back to my table and ask me that again, so I can tell you that. Well, that'll shut them all up. But with all that being said, I'm going to need a drink of water after this one. But Bullet, this will be our idiot of the week today. Bullet, you know, as we came up in school, the times I were there in school, grade school, middle school, and all that, and you're taught even from mom and dad, even at home, to say please, thank you, stuff like that. Bullet, listen, and folks, listen to me. I have not been drinking too much water. This is documented. They can even Google this if they don't believe me, Bullet. But it's really starting to hit the fans here in the Carolinas. But so far, 250 schools, okay, elementary to middle school, a little bit of junior high, they are outlawing. Teachers can no longer use the word please. Now, Bullet, listen to me. I thought we were in trouble before this. And listen to this. The justification, the lady that has come up with this, her name's Christian. She used to be a teacher. And I think that's the catch. Okay. But listen to this, Bullet.
I'm listening.
They are, 250 schools have already put it into place that teachers cannot no longer use the word please. Okay? And this is why.
Please.
Because, and this is the definition of this, they felt like saying please to a child gives the child a choice. Okay? Can you believe this? I swear, folks, listen, I'm not nuts. Check it. 250 schools, and it's coming to the Carolinas. But listen here. Here's what she says, Bullet. I think she's trying to pay the school system back. I think it's all a big work because she used to be a teacher. But her justification, and that's why it's happening, is for now it ain't going to be please little Billy or little George or little Bullet pick up that pencil. It's going to be pick up that pencil. Her belief is directly talking, and they got some big fancy dictionary word for this. Directly talking to that child will make that child a better student. Okay? Now, Bullet, listen to me. So, we're going to need another trash bag after another. I'm putting this lady in it first, okay?
Please do.
I'm putting her in there, Bullet, because all my my grandbabies are right on that that line right now to bank robbery or saving the world, okay? They're turtling right there. And now, Papa's trying to raise them right, okay? If they hear this, I'm going to lose them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they're right on that fence. They're looking at the gangster life, and they may look at, like, working at the homeless shelter, okay? It can go both ways with my 4 grandbabies. If they hear this, if this comes to the Carolinas, I'm going to lose them. That's what I'm saying, Bullet. Folks, listen to me. I'm not going crazy. We will put her, Christian, in here, Bullet, and then make room, the 250 school systems that have already implemented this. So from now on at recess, if you leave your cars out, it ain't, little Bullet, please pick up that Maxbox car. It is, pick up that car. All right, folks. You heard it here first.
You might want to. May I suggest that you hold this bag? I don't think we've properly slammed this enough. Let's put your water down. You just take your roll because I'm gonna freak out like you right now. Here's my problem with this, and I don't like to get on too many soapboxes, but I'm gonna get on a soapbox on this because I believe in starting people young. I believe the way to change people's minds is talk to them when they're young. Like I can go I could go talk to somebody who's 30 years old and I'm not changing their mind.
Right.
What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna start people young, and you have to take these impressionable minds and give them the tools they need to succeed.
Yes.
And give them the tools to be a civil and decent human being.
Right.
You have to start when they're young and impressionable, and they read signs and signals and stuff like that. And telling teachers not to say please anymore is a huge mistake, and let me intelligently tell you why. And then maybe we ramp up into the crazy town, okay? Maybe we'll start at crazy town. Here's my problem with it. Now keep in mind, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not somebody who's going wildly upon crazy. But here's the problem with that, and the idea that it gives the takes away the idea that the students have a choice in their minds.
Right.
Now, once you do that, you then put the teacher in an authority role, which they are in.
Right.
That is very much the case. But then that communicates to a young mind that they cannot question authority.
Yes.
Then it shows them they should always listen to authorities no matter what. And when you take away a child's ability to question authority, I think that's more dangerous than giving students the opportunity to question authority. We should always question authority, and we should understand that. And the thing is, as a teacher, you're in an authority role, much like I am with our students at the training school.
Yes.
And sometimes I say please, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
But that's when I want to convey a sense of urgency, importance.
Yes.
But when I say please, I technically don't have to because I'm in an authority role. But the fact that I act like a civil human being teaches them that they need to be civil.
Right.
And especially when you can tell that I'm about to blow my stack, but still I choose to use the word please. It communicates to a child that I still remain civil when I am thinking irrationally or I am justified in acting uncivil. So you have to communicate to these people. And the way that the world is right now, shouldn't we be teaching kids that the word please is the most important thing?
I think so.
Even when you are in an authority place and you don't have to.
Yes.
When you communicate to a child that I'm an authority and I don't have to say please to you, then that is exactly what the government wants you to believe. That's what authorities want you to believe, and that's what makes us mindless drones working for the overlords. Okay, that's where we go to crazy town when we will stop. But that's all I'm saying is teaching civility at a very young age and teaching that even in an authority place, you can act like a decent and wonderful human being. Because what you're going to do is you're going to raise a child that when they're in an authority position, they do not give that amount of courtesy to people who might even be teachers.
A very good point. And I think that it's just going to turn, and it may have already turned against them, is I think more kids are going to fire up against that because when you just...
Because that is in their nature to rebel against the authority. Saying please puts them in pretty close equal footing. But when you have clearly made yourself an authority figure, you have made yourself a target.
But what gets me, boy, and I know we got to get out of here, is how has 250 schools jumped on this bandwagon and ruled that in?
Because it's easy. Because it's easy, and you want
to,
and you are living under the fear that you're losing control of these students and you can't control them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how they see it. They see it as fear and control, as opposed to leading by example.
Yes.
As opposed to treating people fairly.
So I guess,
as opposed to giving them a proper example to follow.
Right.
And if they choose not to follow it, guess what? They can live underneath the bridge, like I will very soon. It's probably sometime in my life.
Well, and see, so what these schools are basically saying is our grandpas and our dads and our moms that have taught us that. One of the first lessons is you say please. I know people say please to their dog. You know, please get in the back seat. You know, to their animal. But what they're doing is, I just totally, completely disagree with that. I just think this lady Christian that has embedded this is actually, I think she's done. She knows she's done with the school system, and she I'll get you back. But 250 schools so far, and it's coming to the Carolinas. We will keep our fans updated. Bullet, oh, don't worry, you're going to hear about these kids. When my grandbaby's just going to, hey, folks, America, when my grandbaby's going this crime spree, don't look at me. Don't say they had bad bringing up.
Or when they become a CEO of a company and act like a dick, don't blame us.
Yeah, when you don't get a choice when they take that raise away. Anyway, folks, so that's what we're here for, folks. I want to give out a quick get well to Nature Boy Ric Flair, as everybody knows. Send our prayers and our love to the Nature Boy, folks. Kind of a side note here, and I think several people had, is I didn't touch it. I've had a couple newscasts. This is what I thought was very tacky. I've had a couple of newscasts contact me today wanting to interview me about that, and I didn't even answer them. I thought, come on, are you kidding me, folks? I mean, anyway, so side note, but, folks, what we still do here, I've been waiting on this all program.
All right.
What we still do here on this TV program is we say, please buy
the second greatest book of all time, and we will tell you thank you from highspots.com as we box it up and ship it to you. If you want to know more about what I'm doing this weekend, most notably Friday and Saturday, which is almost absolutely nothing, make sure you follow me on Twitter at ManScoutManning or on Instagram at ManScoutManning. This has been another edition of Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle.
Good show. Thank you, Bullet, for doing it with me, okay?
I appreciate it.
250 schools, buddy.
You shouldn't have brought that up, especially after I've been doing research on Jesse Ventura all day.
Oh, we're going.
I'm about ready to burn down the whole system right now.
We're going to City Hall, buddy. Me and you going to City Hall.